Did you know that Preston was once home to a king? His name wasn't Charles or George or even Henry. His name was Matthew. And he wasn't the King of England. He was the King of Bananas.
Grow, banana, grow. Grow, banana tree. Swaying in the breeze in the West Indies. Sail on the sea to me.
Today we're going to learn about Matthew Wade, the Banana King, and even sing a song about him. I met with his granddaughter to find out more about this important Preston man.
My name's Ellen Young. My grandfather was Matthew Wade. He was the Banana King. He originally brought bananas to Preston and was very well known. He was a big businessman for that day. Originally, he worked for his father in his fruit shop, and then he went to Canada for a couple of years where he was involved in an accident. So he came home and he opened a fruit shop in the Adelphi. He decided to bring in the bananas.
Bananas were grown in the West Indies. They travelled by boat on a 7,000-mile journey, where they arrived in England at Liverpool or Preston docks.
He ripened them in the basement of the Majestic buildings and sold them on the market. And from there, he started other fruit shops and other businesses. He built the Majestic buildings in Starch House Square. He had a dance hall in there. They did boxing, wrestling, roller skating, billiard halls. He also had a bus company, Majestic Motors. He had fruit shops dotted around the town. He was a clever businessman, really. There were all sorts of things came in the bananas. There were snakes. I remember one day my mother was down there. She was standing talking to the manager. There was a pallet, well, there'd be a lot of pallets of bananas behind her, and it must have come out of something, and it came down the side, but she didn't know. And when they said, "Oh, a snake," and she jumped and it bit her in her leg, but it wasn't poisonous. It wasn't a poisonous one or anything, so she just had a bandage. It's only a little girl, but I've never ever forgotten it. They would find a bush baby or fruit bats and all sorts of things. In those days, when they ripened them on the docks, when you opened the door, there was all sorts of colours. There would be insects, I suppose, little tiny insects that lit up. But there were a lot of beetles, which I didn't like, and spiders. Yeah, I've seen tarantulas and all sorts of things when I was young.
Matt Wade Banana King started business in 1889, and the family business still continues today in Preston. I've written a song all about Matthew Wade Banana King. Sing along if you can.
Grow, banana, grow. Grow, banana tree. Swaying in the breeze in the West Indies. Sail on the sea to me. Did you hear about Matt, the Banana King? He ran a fruit shop on Adelphi Street. He bought bananas to Preston town. In 1919 it was the sweetest treat around. And he said, grow, banana, grow. Grow, banana tree. Swaying in the breeze in the West Indies. Sail on the sea to me. Did you hear about the boats? They sailed afar, 7,000 miles from Jamaica. Hang them up to ripen those yellow fruits. Come to the market, buy our fresh produce. Grow, banana, grow. Grow, banana tree. Swaying in the breeze in the West Indies. Sail on the sea to me. Did you hear about snakes on Preston dock? One bit my mama. She courtesy to me.